Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Should be on. Uh, let's see. Da, 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 da. Alrighty, everything is set to go. We are ready to roll. Alright, let's get this off the screen. Hi, YouTube. It is me, your friendly neighborhood Alex. Don't worry, we'll get to all this in a minute. Welcome to the one and only Alex, the Alex McKinney Show, or the Alex Football Show. Don't worry, it's not a catchy name. It's not supposed to be. Alright, close the other way. Alrighty, you know what today is. Sorry if I'm not as loud and vocal as last time. Very tired. I finally got some rest. So try not to yell and all that. So we've got a couple things tonight. Week 8 predictions, and then we have the model. We have the model as well, and we have a brand new segment, the Alex Poll. Wait, not the Alex Bowl. I have my playoff prediction that's been updated as of now for my potential playoff implications. So this is like a snapshot in time of where we are in college football. Without further ado, let's get to it. So we're going to start off with our Friday. You know how it goes. We go in chronological order here. So let's get to it. So we'll get to our Friday. And we have actually an interesting one. So, well, in regards to the ACC, let me see if I can make this a bit bigger for you guys. There we go. We have the Louisville versus the Miami Hurricanes. This game will be played at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Basically, this should be a cakewalk, but we have seen Louisville give other ACC teams a temper tantrum. But if this game is played in Miami, Miami's just going to dominate. I mean, they're going to take care of everyone in their conference, as you'll see in my playoff. I don't think Louisville, but we've seen crazier stuff, but I don't think that's going to happen. So now we get on to a sneaky game. This is a sneaky game that not many people are going to be paying attention to, but it does have implications. So this is a Big Ten matchup between Nebraska, number 25 Nebraska, and Minnesota. The reason I say this is a sneaky game is I want you to be careful about Nebraska, because Nebraska, in my playoffs, they could get in very easily, as they would say. But you know what we're here for. These aren't Friday night games, but this is our big slate. So let's go over them one by one. Give them their full credit. So let's give them the credit they deserve. This is the game of the week. So this is the game of the week. First Bank Stadium, home game for Vanderbilt. ABC, 11 a.m. kickoff. LSU and the Vanderbilt. Who would have thought this would be a game that would be game day would go to? Who would have thought? Oh, so this has changed a lot. We'll get to it. So we have the 5-1 and 5-1 duel. So these two teams are going to be battling for a spot in the playoffs of the 8-round playoff, which is the 8 rounds before you get to with the first round buys and all that. I'll get to that in a moment. But this game, the money line, the odds are open 48.5, so minus 128 to Vanderbilt's minus 115. So Vanderbilt's the favorite in this one, and who would have guessed they would be the favorite? And with LSU being the underdog, the spread is 2.5, and so the total 48.5 and all that. And the money line is 110 to Vanderbilt's minus 130. So there's your answer right there. Of course, this predictor has Vandy going to 60 and just destroying their LSU. But Garrett Nussmeier and Diego Pavia, these two quarterbacks are going to ball. These are almost the same exact quarterback stats and passing yards. So we're going to see who's the better quarterback. Will Garrett Nussmeier show up, or will he suck? Or will Diego Pavia be good with the ball and not be able to turn the ball over on crucial red zone drives? We'll see about that tomorrow, here within the next 2 days, because after Friday, the big moment has arrived. This is a quarterback duel I've been waiting to see. Garrett Nussmeier, 135 for 204. Diego Pavia, 115 for 161. Should be a great matchup. Two great teams, but if you think about it, this should be the other way around, with Vanderbilt being number 10 and OSU being 17. Again, it'll be who shows up and who's ready to go. Not the most crazy talk in the world, but we got more planned. Alrighty, you can probably already see up here 2 games that I'm interested in, but for now, we are going to go back. Alrighty, so let's scroll down and, just as I mentioned, here it is. Here's your trap game, Georgia. This game is going to be overlooked, but here's your trap game for Georgia Tech. The Duke has been very sneakily good. So Georgia Tech should handle them, but this is a trap game. If the Blue Devils get ahead of you, Georgia, don't be shocked if you see a different score than what you predict. Again, the money line, here's why I'm saying this is a trap game. Look at the money line, 105, 115. 1.5 to minus 1.5. Look, 60. So look at this, 60.5 minus 2.5. So these money lines are very close. So this could be a toss-up, essentially. Honestly, again, Georgia Tech, you'll see my playoffs. I think they will do exactly what they need to do. They'll handle business. But Duke is favored in this matchup, according to ESPN. But can Haynes King do it again? Can the King keep commanding his army to victory? Or will Menza interrupt the King's audition to behead the King? We shall see. I don't know what happened, but oh shit. Sorry for knowing that. This ain't good. I'm gonna have to probably end the stream right now. Okay. You know what? Sorry about the break. I did take the, I didn't, I don't know what came out of my mouth, but I had to use a little bit of restroom. We are back. I'll keep that up with this game. All right. Share. Boom. All right. Keep an eye on this game. This game I already covered. Ohio State, Washington. Do I even need to ask? We're just going to say Ohio State just handles them so badly that it's going to end their season. Michigan State, Indiana's just going to steamroll them. That game, Texas A&M, give up a 5, but Texas A&M will probably pull away in the second quarter. Ole Miss and Georgia, I was just, you know what? Toss up. We'll just say field goal wins it. All right, Texas Tech and Arizona State. Just Texas Tech, do what you need to do. Memphis, okay, done. Don't need to talk about you. Ooh, Oregon and Rutgers, nah. Maybe something good. Nah, Virginia's going to win. Texas, Kentucky, Texas should win. Alabama, Tennessee. Okay, now this game is going to be interesting. Who will make the least? Look at them. So -8.5 for. Honestly, Alabama's too hot. I'm going to say Alabama wins, but I think it'll be a lot closer. But I think Alabama will pull away in the second quarter. Can't play. And it's doing a little glitching here. I don't know why. USC. Okay, now this game we'll cover when we get to the playoffs. So this game I will also cover in the playoffs picture. Same with Missouri is going to steamroll Auburn. There's no question about it. Utah, I'll get to that in a moment. And then Cincinnati, okay. So a bit quick, but it's not a good slate of games, but I'd say for some of them, they are very, there's some very good games, but I think most of all, this will be one of the more consistently decent schedules that we just get maybe a couple games that are good to watch and then some shitty games and some good to watch games and all that. So not too much to go over there. I wish it was a bit longer, but not too much. Honestly though, I would take most of these. I would take the underdog because it's me. I like the underdogs. Why I'm an Oklahoma fan because I like the underdog style that they play. But most of these shouldn't be close, but we'll see what happens. It's any given Saturday apparently. And in Tennessee and Alabama is the third Saturday in October apparently. So who am I to judge? Yeah, Texas will bounce back. Notre Dame again, so let's just get the playoffs and that'll explain a lot more. So there's your week 8 predictions though. Yay. Boom. That's all you got for week 8. Cover more. Don't worry tomorrow. I've got some big stuff coming, but we'll see what happens and then we'll go from there. All right. Figured I'd pull this up now to show you. Okay, here's what I wanted to get to today. You know what it is. Okay, here in front of me is the playoffs. So let me zoom in a bit. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see better. Whoa. Okay. All right. So these teams down here are essentially done. So Charlotte, UAB, Tulsa, Rice, Boston, North Carolina, Seminoles. Maybe these two make a playoff. Penn State's definitely done. Stanford's done. Oregon State's done. West Virginia's done. Next. So a lot of these teams you'll see here would be up here, but these are some of the teams who I believe will not make the playoffs, but these all teams can make the championships, just they won't be able to make the playoffs. So yeah, Roadrunners, ECU, Michigan State. Some notable ones. You have Washington, Clemson, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Army, North Texas, SMU, Pitt, Baylor, Arizona State, Michigan, Florida, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Hawaii, South Carolina, Michigan, Boise, Colorado. You get the idea. So Arizona, TCU, and all these other teams. So these are just basically teams I don't know where to put, but they do belong. They can win out in their division, in their conference, and then still make the playoffs, essentially. But these are the confirmed teams that we know that are in a potential race for the championship. So Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas, Washington State, UNLV, Utah, Cincinnati, Duke, Virginia, Tulane, South Florida, Memphis. So all these teams can get in with the championship. So especially with these three, these top runners right here are unique because this would be interesting to see a lot of these teams in, and then Texas, Ole Miss, and Missouri are out. But Texas can still lose and not make the playoffs, but they can win in with the championship. They somehow come back. Ole Miss, like I said, they play Georgia. They beat Georgia, handle Georgia. They will play in the championship. They can play in the championship and prove their worth. Missouri, although they lost to Alabama, they still have a chance. And last but not least, if you couldn't tell by my top two, you can see exactly who gets what. And now this is just personal opinion because I do think people are overlooking Oklahoma after their Texas loss. Just hear me out. If they by some miracle they win out their conference, they beat everyone in their schedule. They go 10-2. So they can lose. They lose Texas. They lose one of those other big games, but they still win out. They will be able to play. They will automatically be able to play in one of the 8 rounds in whatever seed they get put in for the SEC. So that's why they're up here, but only just because Sooner fan and miracle can happen. I mean, think about it. If Ohio State could lose to Michigan and somehow still end up in the playoffs, Oklahoma can do the same and still win out. That's also what the same thing with Tennessee. So we'll see what happens with these two. But I wanted to point your attention to this. Look who's in the front. Look who is in the front. What are the odds? Navy, BYU, USC, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, not Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, USC, BYU, and Navy. How funny is it that these would be some of the teams that would play in the 8 rounds, say 2, 4, 6, and 8. Say 2, 4, and then 6. So here's who I think would be playing. I think it would be Navy and BYU, USC, Notre Dame. If Notre Dame wins against USC, they would probably rematch in playoffs. Vanderbilt against Oklahoma. That'd be an interesting game. We'll see how Mateer plays. And then Tennessee and Georgia Tech. And obviously, the first round byes, Alabama, Texas A&M, Oregon, Indiana, Texas Tech, Georgia, Miami, and Ohio State. These 2 teams, honestly, I would like to see play. Georgia. So if I were to say, I would say, based on what I know, we'll just go with the likely option. We'll go with the safest option. And if you guys disagree, you can let me know in the comments down below. Georgia Tech beats Tennessee. They don't beat them nicely, but they don't beat them indefinitely. But they beat them. They win. They somehow find a way to win. Despite how much I want Oklahoma to go into a Cinderella story, I just don't know about this game if it were to be played. But just by the way Vandy has been playing and the fact that they were able to match up with Alabama, and we saw that Oklahoma couldn't handle Texas way, and basically Texas's last chance to get in. So basically, Oklahoma is the reason Texas is still in this playoff contender spot to begin with the championship race. So just because of that, I would say Oklahoma gives Vanderbilt a bit of a struggle, but Vanderbilt will just be able to match them in the second quarter and then overtake them in the final half of the game. Vanderbilt wins, so it'd be Vanderbilt and then Georgia Tech that'll go play one of these teams. So I'll have Vanderbilt go play. Hypothetically, I'll just have them go play Alabama again. That would be interesting. Georgia Tech plays Texas Tech. Notre Dame and USC rematch. I think USC if they beat if Notre Dame. So let's just hypothetically say Notre Dame wins. I'd still pick USC because that means they would probably be the underdog, and I like underdogs. So USC takes Notre Dame, and they will play They will play Texas A&M, BYU, and Navy. Navy should handle BYU, but we'll see. And then I have them playing in the second round against Oregon, which leaves Ohio State, Georgia, Miami, and and Indiana left out. Here's what I said these in with the championships. So I'm gonna have Tulane, South Florida, and Cincinnati be my American Conference three American Conference teams. So they will go and join the 8 rounds. I'll have them play each other. They'll play in the championship, and then they'll take on Ohio, Miami, Georgia, or Indiana. I'll have South Florida going to play Miami. I'll have Tulane going to play Georgia. Cincinnati will play Indiana. And then finally, Texas, I'll have them playing. Actually, I'll have Texas playing Georgia. South Florida plays Miami. Tulane plays Indiana. And then Cincinnati plays Ohio State. And that would basically, they would all win. The only question I'd have would be South Florida and Texas. Everyone else, though, would win out in their battle. And then that leaves to the semifinals. I think the semifinals will be Ohio State. It'll just probably be, say, these three into the first round. We shall see. But so far, we don't know who's going to be championship, who's going to be semifinals and whatnot. But I do have Ohio State winning it all, just out of the blue, because they're the only consistent team we know of. And Oklahoma could potentially do the upset of the century and basically become the Indiana of the conference, where they got in, they somehow won out, even though not Indiana. Not Indiana, per se. Maybe, look it up. Let's see. We'll say they're, Oregon's, no. Correct me in the comments, but one of the last year's teams would basically be the equivalent of Oklahoma. And I just have, and then Ohio State, I think they'll beat, even if they play Alabama, I think Ohio State just talent-wise would beat Alabama from the ground in the air. They're dominant on there. But I can't wait to see these two match up, Ohio State and Miami. That would be a beautiful matchup. All right. So one more look at the list. Here is your playoff picture. All these teams down here, they're done. All these teams, they could make it to the playoffs. They could play in the championship, still lose, and then so they could make a championship or they make a bowl. Whatever they do, they will make a bowl. They are guaranteed at least a bowl no matter what. So no matter what, they are guaranteed a bowl eligibility. And Oklahoma may fall in there, but for right now, we'll just keep them up there as a safe bet. And then these teams right here, these teams will be able to win out. If they win their conference and they win out, they win the championship, they are guaranteed to play. And these would change a lot. But right now, based on record, I have these 4 up here, these 8 up here, playing in the first round, and then these getting the first round bye. Honestly, though, Ohio State should win it all. And I'm going to close out. And yeah, there you go. There you go. That is all I have for you. Now let me get back to this paper. In my hand, right here. So it's a blank piece of paper, by the way, for right now. We're just going to, you hear that? You know what? Here. To quote Josh Tate, put a paper popper. I want to read this off for you. Here's the wild card teams. Ready? UCLA, Michigan, Tulane, Washington, Oklahoma, LSU, Virginia, Memphis, who would have thought this? I would say this. Mississippi State. There's 3 more. And who would have thought I'd be saying this? I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth. Nebraska, Utah, and of course, despite my intrigueness of it, despite my lapse in judgment, I can't leave them out. Plot twist, North Texas. Get ready, folks. Buckle up. Let's get going. It is time to officially kick off the mid stretch to the college football playoff. Thank you for watching. That's all she wrote. As always, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys come Saturday. I'll see you guys, Monday at 5:50. Maybe. Depends on what I'm doing. That's all she wrote. God, I can't wait. God, I can't wait for this season. God, I can't wait. God, I can't wait for it. Man, it's